Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cat's Reactions, and my name's Greg, and I've been playing this album, The Barnestormers, which is Jimmy Barnes with a bunch of other people, and it's such a unique thing. They're doing old time rock and roll, rockabilly and stuff, and like I say, it's a very different album, So somebody told me about this. This is a little interview that Jimmy Barnes and Cheney did on the radio, and I'm not going to play all of it. It's like 17 and some odd minutes long, so like I say, I won't play all of it. But let's go ahead and check it out and see what the boys have to say.
Around the country, that's 52 stations, and on the brand new listener app. This is an absolute treat for the show. We welcome Australian rock royalty. Between them, they've sold out festivals, arenas, multiple number ones, arias, you name it, are now together. Part of a supergroup, members hailing from New York, Scotland, London, Melbourne, South Africa. And the irony, when this album was created, it was a time where any of those places you couldn't go if you were from there because of lockdown. We have Kevin, Caveman Shirley, the one and only Jules Holland. From the Stray Cats, Slim Jim Phantom. Australia's own Chris Cheney. And the one and only Jimmy Barnes. Together they make up the Barnestormers. You're loving Johnny's Gone, Real Wild Child 2. I'm a real wild child. I welcome to Triple M's Homegrown, the one and only Chris Cheney and Jimmy Barnes. How are you, lads?
G'day, mate.
This is your life. This is your life. Is this an intervention? Nice to be here.
It's good to see you again. Lovely to meet you, Jimmy. How's it feel, guys? Album's out. Is this, because of the circumstances, the way the album was created, is this one of the most satisfying album releases for you guys across the journey?
You know what? It is for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's one of the main reasons is we've spoke about doing a record together, Chris and I, for so long, and Slim Jim and I have spoken about doing a record together for so long, and it's just one of those things where we finally got to get together and put it to get it together and do it. I mean, it was recorded in lockdown.
Yeah.
So it was an uncharted territory for us. You think making a rockabilly record, you want to be locked in a garage somewhere with a slab of beer, but somehow we managed to lock ourselves away with a slab of beer and record record this record on like 4 continents. So it was really incredible.
It was. I mean, I think Kevin rang me and said, "I've just been talking to Jimmy. He says you guys have been wanting to make this record for a long time. Ah, yeah, we're going to get around to it one day." He said, "Well, I think one day's arrived.
It's arrived.
Let's do a song. Let's do a song."
Well,
and see how it comes out, which is what we did.
Well,
put the drums down, the guitar down, the bass down, then Jimmy sang on it. We got the track back and went, holy crap, this is good. Let's do another song.
And it was sort of like, it was that surprise factor. Literally, some of the recordings, like depending on who started it, sometimes Chris would start a song, he'd play a guitar, send it to Slim Jim, he'd put some drums, his mate Thomas would put bass on, send it to Jules in England.
Nice.
But by the time it got to me, I go, this just sounds like a rock and roll band. What's going on here? I'd sing, and then we'd all hear it back mixed, and it'd just be, holy crap, it's really good. And so it's turned out, for a record that we waited to do for so long, it's so rewarding, because when I put it on, I go, this is the record we wanted to make. It's really awesome. And I think Chris and I we're walking down the hallowed halls here, and we're saying, there's not enough of this music played around, particularly on radio now, so it's really good to be in here with you playing some of it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
great.
We're loving all of it. When was the first time you were all in the room,
We haven't been in the room yet. We haven't.
Right now.
Right now. That's the first time I met Chris. No. Chris and I have been mates for a long time, but we haven't been in a room. But like literally, we've been talking on phones, on Zooms, on email, on sending tracks, saying help, can you make this sound good? And literally, we have not been in a room yet, which is unheard of.
It's crazy.
For a record of this type.
Yeah.
And it's one of the joys of it, because it's just been one of those things that it worked out so well that we're all pleasantly surprised, and a bit shocked, because you don't know until you actually get it all, until it's all finished, what it's going to sound like. And it's for me, I put it on and it brings a smile on my face every time.
Of course. How has this changed like the creative process for you guys as well? I mean, like the sky's the limit now, right? It's just opened up.
Maybe the worst thing we could do is get in a room together.
No, but yeah, maybe, because bands get in a room and you think too much about stuff too. And I think the way we're in the 1950s, the technology that they had and the time that bands were allowed in the studio, they were saying, all right, you're in there for an hour and a half, make an album.
Yeah.
And that's what they'd literally do in 2 tracks, and they'd have or 1 track, and they'd bang it down. I think the isolation made us sort of brought us back down to that square where we didn't have time to think about it. We couldn't sort of procrastinate. We couldn't sort of bounce ideas off each other. We had to do the best we had at the time. Do it right now. Do the best thing. What's the best thing you got? Play it.
Yeah.
And that sort of what came out in the record. And I think that energy is really, it's quite on the edge. We feel like we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah. Well, Kevin was good like that, wasn't he? He just said that just keep the edge. Don't make it perfect. This music's not supposed to be perfect, because it's the imperfections that make it what it is. So I was like, oh yeah, but I wouldn't mind doing one more pass.
That's a guitar player thing.
And you know what? I would send him a couple of guitar parts, and he'd do what he want with them anyway. So,
but and saying that, like the other day we were, we're doing a bit of promo on all our socials, and Chris, as I said, I'll just do this little demo thing, teach the punters how to do the solo. And and he said, here's one of the solos from the album. What solo was it?
It was Train Kept a Rolling.
Train Kept Rolling. Lonesome Train. And so
Lonesome Train.
So he does the solo, and I'm going, man, that's blistering. Nobody's going to. And then he said, I'll do it at half speed for you. And he played it at half speed, and I still don't know what he played. So there's all these young guitar players going, oh man, what am I going to do? I can't play that.
Well, you got to keep practicing, son.
You got to keep practicing.
Yeah, but that's kind of, it's like ground zero for me. That goes right back to my foundations of the guitar playing that I first learned to play.
Yeah.
So it was a real joy to dive back into that world. And then to hear Jimmy singing it, and to hear the Stray Cats drummer on there, and it's like, in answer to your question before, it's like we haven't been in a room together, but we've all played music together, kind of as well, so we know how each other sort of play and sing. So I think that kind of helped make it sound cohesive as well.
Yeah, what I really love from you guys was this too.
I love you, baby, but you don't treat me right. Better give me just a little bit of your sweet love, and we gonna have a big fight.
Performing on Rockwiz?
And on Rockwiz, I knew that.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite tracks on the record.
It's a bootleg already.
It's a bootleg already.
Yeah.
I bought the album. but that song, there was when we were doing the song selection, it was like there was a few songs that we we started the idea. It was going to be a 3-piece band, wasn't it? And with a singer. Well, I cut myself out of a job there.
That's what I thought.
With the singer. But as we selected more material, we were going, let's do a Bill Haley song. And, one part of the Bill Haley sound is about, that sax and that section he had. And, I was talking to him in another studio about how the sax would do these riffs which allowed the guitar player to stretch out and do all these different things, which gave Chris room to expand. So we added sort of like, we need a sax player. So we've got a sax player.
Nice.
And then, we need a piano player. We've got Jules Holland, one of the best in the world.
Yeah, man.
So it was not only hard work by Kevin, but it was really fortunate timing that we all just happened to have that time. And I think we have to thank lockdown for that, otherwise it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I had Don Walker in here for a co-host not too long ago, and he was super excited about the project too.
Yeah. Well, Don, he loves it, and because he's, I rang him up and I said, "Have you got any rockabilly songs?" He said, I'm sure I have. I'll look for one. And he sent me Johnny's Gone, and I just thought, it's perfect for this record. And to make a record that explores our roots and my roots as well, to have a song from Don Walker, who's been a huge part of my growth as a musician since I was 16.
Yeah.
It's like full circle for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we didn't want it to just be a covers record. I think that was one of the things, I mean, obviously playing this kind of music, we started off with a couple of covers to play our own sort of favourite tunes, but then Jimmy brought one to the table, I brought one to the table.
Yeah,
so.
it was good. Don's. So, we wanted to add some of our own flavour to it because, as far as I'm concerned, this project can go on and we can make another record, whenever. I'm ready to do it. We haven't been in the one room yet, but I know that when we're all anywhere within 1,000 miles of the one postcode, we're going to be doing a gig. And so it's just a matter of time. And when that dice rolls, we'll be ready to do it. I mean, Chris and I already talked. It'd be just great to just jump up somewhere. Whether it's we're doing the Red Hot Summer Tour coming up through summer with Living End and myself and Birds of Turkey and Pete Murray and Casey Chambers and everybody's on Mahalia, my daughter. But at some point during that tour, I'm sure that Chris and I are going to I'm going to crash his set and we'll do some of these tunes, or he'll crash mine.
Well, without speaking ill of the other band members, you and I aren't the problem. It's them.
It's them. They're not here to defend themselves,
here.
Chris, so we can pick on them. It's okay.
The record's out now, and they're not even here.
Yeah. Slim Jim would be here in a second, and I'm sure Jules would too. But it's just difficult to get us all in one room. So when it happens, though, it's going to be an explosion.
Well, that's a really good segue into what I'd like to talk about now. Normally, when I have our guests on, we've got a bit more time. We play a game called Memory Lane, but I'm going to squeeze in a couple now.
I'm going to go ahead and cut it there because they're going some completely different direction. But I just wanted to play that, so people would get a feel for what that album was. I mean, and it's so cool to me because sometimes when there's pressures, on artists, they end up doing something wonderful, something that would not have happened before. I mean, Jimmy was just talking about how they used to do albums or, records. You'd go in the studio and you'd do one take and that was it, and if there's an imperfection in there, so be it, it's part of it. And COVID and the lockdown provided all this restraint, that people were having to work within this set of restraints. They couldn't leave their house. So what do? And a lot of musicians, got together virtually and did music, and it's a really cool thing. I mean, you've seen Paul Kelly, with doing How to Make Gravy, during the lockdown. That was just such a cool thing, with him doing the song, and then all these other people sending in their little bit of film, and it was really neat. But there's been a lot of stuff. The Doobie Brothers did a really cool thing where, just like this, they lay down one track, lay down the next one, so it was like the band was together, but they weren't. But it was a really neat thing, and Jimmy Barnes never would have done this album if it had not been for the lockdown. So, it's a cool thing. So, anyway, I will be back in a minute and play something off that album. That's what I did yesterday. So, hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and we will see you all later. Bye-bye.